This is the Giants Postcast, your instant game reaction for the San Francisco Giants, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Yo, what's up, everyone, and welcome back to the Locked On Giants Postcast. I'm your host, Eric Triple E Engel. You may know me as the former producer for the Murph and Mac Morning Show on KMBR, or maybe from some of these other Locked On Sports Network postcasts we also do the Locked On Warriors postcast and the Locked On 49ers postcast. But today, man, the Giants even the series with the Texas Rangers after Pat Bailey delivered a clutch ninth inning single for the walk-off win. Runs have been scarce in this series for the Giants, but they got just enough today to take advantage of Robbie Ray's best start of the 2025 season. He tossed 7 innings while only surrendering 2 runs and 5 hits and struck out 8. And by the way, only walked 1 batter. Great day for Robbie Ray on the bump. But it wasn't just him. I mean, we had a big hit from Willy Adames too to equalize things in that 5th inning. And he's now riding a little bit of a hitting streak. We got to talk about that later. But, I mean, for the Giants, you had to win this way. On a day when they honored Brandon Crawford pregame, it was only fitting for them to pull this one out in dramatic fashion. We'll break it all down, but first, I want to thank all of you for watching us on the Locked On Giants YouTube channel. Please, if you aren't already subscribed, hit that subscribe button right now. Thanks also for listening on the Locked On Giants podcast feed and making us your first listen following these Giants games. Make sure to check out the Locked On Giants Daily Show for more in-depth coverage. My guy, Ben Kaspick, always does a great job. And let's just go right to that 9th inning because it was today's turning point.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
And it had to obviously be this situation. You guys already know if you watched the game. Turning point came in that 9th inning with the game tied 2 runs apiece. Elliot Ramos leadoff single. Then you have Lamont Wade Jr. draw a walk right after. And I think that was very, very, very big because Lamont Wade Jr. has been really struggling to get on base. That's no secret. But he was able to get on base in that at-bat, which he absolutely had to do. Could not have an unproductive out from Lamont Wade Jr. there. He also did have a hit in this one, so he was on base twice today. So he's starting to maybe sort of find it. I think the at-bats are getting a little bit better for Wade, seeing some more pitches now than he was in the beginning of the season. But then you get 2 on with nobody out, and Koss at the dish. He lays down a sac bunt, and a great bunt at that, or good enough at least, to get Ramos to third base with just 1 out, and up comes Pat Bailey. And Bochy was very smart in this situation because Pat Bailey has not been hitting from the right side too well this season, nor has he throughout his career. So he brings in the lefty to get Bailey to switch from batting left-handed to batting right-handed because Bailey came in to pinch hit for Huff, who was already, having a nice game. Sam Huff set the table for the Giants 2 runs that they scored earlier with a nice double. But in this situation, they go to Pat Bailey, the guy who's been, more trusted in these spots. You remember last year in April, he had a walk-off for the Giants on Patrick Bailey bobblehead day. And today, from the right side, man, Bruce Bochy counters because he originally had a righty on the mound, so Pat Bailey was going to bat left. Boch goes to the bullpen and gets a lefty to make Pat Bailey have to switch sides on at the dish, go bat right-handed, and he plunks one, just barely gets it over the first baseman's head, soft line drive into right field to score Elliot Ramos. And with the infield pulled in, it had just enough mustard on it to get into that outfield. The defense had been in a normal fielding position, which I get why they had to play the infield, and you absolutely have to in that situation. But if the first baseman was playing in his normal spot, that's probably an out. And the Giants, who knows if they end up winning this game? But with the Bailey walk-off win, the Giants now have 4 such walk-off wins this season, and they are rolling. I mean, another one at Oracle Park. I believe all 4 of these walk-off wins have come at Oracle Park. They have against the Reds, against and twice against the Mariners. So the Giants really sending Oracle Park crowds home happy, but making them sweat it out first. And as I said, it had to be this way, man. And on a day where you honor Brandon Crawford's retirement, and he and if you remember his debut, his MLB debut, Brandon Crawford himself delivered a walk-off win for the Giants. So it just is very fitting today that Pat Bailey does it again. for the Giants in the month of April as well. And like I said, from the right side, Pat Bailey has not been very good this year, batting just 105 from the right-handed side of the dish, and just his third RBI of the season from the right-handed side. He only had 2 coming into this game, and he only had 4 hits total from the right side of the plate this year. So, I mean, he's 9 strikeouts from that right side as well. So when you have 9 strikeouts compared to just 4 hits from that side of the dish, I get why Bruce Bochy went the way he did with the bullpen. I don't think that came as a surprise for anybody, really. We all know Pat Bailey hits a lot better left-handed than right-handed, but today, man, he did it just well enough to get the Giants the win, man. And that was so good to see, because Robbie Ray, and even though he didn't get the win today, he absolutely deserved to send the Giants home with a win at least. And it did get a little sketchy there in the top of the 9th for Ryan Walker, by the way. He gave up a couple hits, but did settle in and got 2 strikeouts to end the inning after getting that little pop-up, that bunt attempt that ended up being a pop-out. So Ryan Walker, a little bit shaky, but hey, looking like another. That beard of his is growing out, and the more he grows it out, the more he just reminds me of Brian Wilson out there on the mound, just stressing us out to no end, but also coming back and getting it done when it mattered the most. So the Giants had just enough today to get this win over the Rangers. And the Giants, I mean, as I said, Robbie Ray pitched really, really, really well today. We're going to go ahead and give Robbie our player of the game.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
And Robbie Ray spun 7 innings of 2-run ball. He only gave up 5 hits and 1 walk. And that 1 walk is the lowest amount of walks that he has given up since the month of March. March 30th was the last time he only gave up 1 walk. That was in 5 1/3 innings against the Cincinnati Reds in the opening series of this season. So he has not had very many games where he was able to limit the walks so far this year. He's had 4 games since then, each one with at least 2 walks, with at least 3 walks, actually. So Robbie Ray today really doing a good job filling up that strike zone. And he also had 8 strikeouts, 8 punchies for Robbie Ray. ERA now down to 3.73. So he's looking pretty good on the mound all of a sudden. He has had a lot of traffic on the base paths throughout this season so far. But for Robbie Ray today, man, he was really, really, really good. I mean, I thought he had everything that he was trying to throw out there working for him, except for the knuckle curve. He kind of missed with it a couple times. But average exit velo in general, just 86.9 miles an hour. That changeup and the knuckle curve did get hit a little bit harder than his 2 primary pitches. So he kind of used the secondary, I say, but more like tertiary and quaternary pitches, the changeup and the knuckle curve. He was using those a little bit more than usual. Both of those had average exit velos over 100 miles an hour. That slider, 79.6 average exit velo, and the 4-seamer, just 86.4 average exit velo. So his 2 main pitches working really, really well for him today, that fastball and that slider. But he did have a very, very high whiff rate on basically all of his pitches today, 41% whiff rate in total. The highest was that changeup. That kick change was, kind of feast or famine today. He was either getting swings and misses or hard contact off of that pitch. So Robbie Ray doing a good job mixing it up out there on the hill. And I mean, he's starting to throw that changeup a lot more than he was at the beginning of the season. As I said, that slider was very effective. He had a 50% whiff rate on the slider as well today. So, I mean, just doing a really, really, really good job mixing and matching his pitches up there. And it's tough. Robbie Ray, we said this at the beginning of the season, if he can really get that changeup and refine it to a point where it becomes his a valuable third pitch, like a viable third pitch for him, watch out, man, because Robbie Ray, as just a two strike or 2-pitch guy, has already had a lot of success in this league. But if he can add a third pitch to his arsenal, he can really change up exactly what you're seeing on the mound out there. And it can really be beneficial for him because it adds some sinking action. The slider obviously has a little bit of sink to it, but mostly it's just running away from hitters. But I think that the 4-seam slider changeup combination really can elevate Robbie Ray to another level this season with the Giants. I'm not going to say that it's going to put him back to the Cy Young level that he once was at, as he has some of that hardware in his trophy case. But I don't know, man. I think Robbie Ray, I said at the beginning of the year, I think you're either going to see a really good season from him or a really bad season from him. I don't think it's going to be very in between. And that's kind of been how he's profiled in these starts, right? Like he hasn't been very good in some starts, but he's also looked pretty dang good when he's got that when he's got the lights out stuff going for him, like he did at Yankee Stadium or like he did in that win against the Mariners. I mean, he's looked really good in a couple starts so far this year. And he's now only given up more than 2 earned runs in just 2 starts this season. So Robbie Ray doing a pretty good job on the bump today. I really liked what I saw from him, and it gave the Giants a chance to win. But hey, they wouldn't have got there if they didn't have a Willy Adames big hit in that 5th inning. We got to break that down next on the Locked On Giants postcast. Today's show is sponsored by Amazon Fire TV Stick 4K. Did you know your Fire TV is also an Xbox? Turn any TV into your gaming and entertainment hub with Fire TV Stick 4K devices. No console required. Just grab your paired controller, subscribe, or sign in to Xbox Game Pass Ultimate with EA Play included, and you're ready to play. Dive into hundreds of premium titles from EA Sports College Football 25 to Call of Duty Black Ops 6 and Avowed. As easily as you stream your favorite TV shows, you can now play your favorite games. It's gaming made simple, and it's all on your Fire TV. It's got the latest technology for elevated playing with Wi-Fi 6/6E and low latency mode advanced technology. Fire TV Stick 4K delivers smoother, more responsive gameplay with lightning fast speeds. You need to stay competitive. Every time I read this ad, I always tell you guys, nothing worse than being a gamer and experiencing lag. It just makes you want to throw your controller through the television. Don't do that. You don't want to end up on social media looking like a fool. So make sure you get the Amazon Fire TV Stick 4K and turn it into your complete entertainment hub so you don't end up throwing that controller through the TV screen. Head to Amazon.com/Fire TV Locked On to get started. Xbox Game Pass Ultimate subscription and compatible controller required. Available on select devices, including Fire TV Stick 4K 2nd Gen, Fire TV Stick 4K Max 1st and 2nd Gen, and Fire TV Cube 3rd Gen. Welcome back to the Locked On Giants postcast. I'm your host, Eric Triple E Engel, and today the Giants deliver a walk-off win when they honor Brandon Crawford pregame. And man, this was a fun one if you were a Giants fan, but it was sweaty, man. It was very, very sweaty because early on in this one, I mean, it looked to be going kind of the same way as yesterday's game went when the Giants could not do anything at the plate, were unable to score at all. And until the 5th inning of this one, it was going the same way. The Rangers started off in that 1st inning with yet another Wyatt Langford double. Does this guy do anything but hit doubles out there? I mean, what a great young player for the Rangers and Bruce Bochy. This guy looks so dang good. Runs really well. Blows my mind that he used to be a catcher and he runs as well as he does. I mean, that's a very strong lower half that guy's got. Just super athletic and very, very, very strong as well. You can tell by the way he muscles those doubles into the gaps and into the corners. So Langford having a very good series for the Rangers, but the Giants limited him to just 1 today instead of the multiple that he had yesterday. So that's a big plus for the Giants. But that 1st inning double did set up the first Rangers run of the game, because after that Langford double, Jung singles, and up comes Jake Berger. What a great last name, Berger. This guy, if you have the last name Berger, you better mash, man. And so Jake Berger comes up, sac fly, puts the Rangers up 1-0. And then again in the 3rd inning, another Jake Berger sac fly puts the Rangers up now 2-0 after Kevin Pillar singled and then stole 2nd and stole 3rd base as well. Without Pat Bailey behind there playing, I mean, you had Sam Huff, as I said, catching for the majority of this game. Pat Bailey didn't come in until he pinch hit in that 9th inning to send the Giants fans home happy. But with Huff back there, runners do run a little bit more. I'm going to say I like Huff as a backup catcher. I mean, we kind of had this rotating cast of characters as backup catchers for the Giants, and none of them have really stuck. They all have glaring issues through this last season or two, with Pat Bailey seeming to always slow down in the second half of the year. I think it's very important that the Giants have a solid backup catcher, and that's what Murphy was supposed to be. But dude, I keep forgetting he's even on this team because he's injured so often. I mean, I feel like he has been injured for like 99% of the time he's been in a Giants uniform. So you've had other guys back there, and every single one has had some kind of limitation. I mean, Kurt Casale was okay, obviously, as a defensive catcher, but offensively leaves a lot to be desired. And then you get the complete opposite with a guy like Blake Sable, who is not a real catcher. I mean, I'm not trying to, say anything bad about my guy Blake, but I like specs. He's really good at the dish, a lot better than people realize. I think he's got some good power and he runs pretty well. But he's just big. He's like a very tall guy, and it's hard to play catcher as a very tall individual. So defensively, definitely not the best catcher. Sam Huff, I think, gives you enough of both. I mean, we obviously need to see more from him, but so far early in the season, I know the batting average isn't very pretty to look at, but his power is undeniable. He's got some pop in that bat, and today he helped set the table for the Giants in the bottom of the fifth. After a Christian Koss single, you got a double out of Huff to set up second and third with Willy Adames at the dish, and Adames base hit to drive both of the runners in and tie the game at 2 runs apiece. And now Adames, with that base hit, is riding a 5-game hitting streak kind of quietly and has recorded at least 1 hit in 7 of his last 8 games. And this is a big deal because I've been saying this for a while now. When this guy gets hot, he is going to light the world on fire. He almost had a double in this game that just barely went foul. So like Adames, you see the at-bats getting better. You can see, if you're watching these games, that he is starting to find his rhythm at the plate. He has notoriously started the year slow. This is not anything new. He has been a slow starter in his career, not as slow as a guy like Blake Snell, who was absolutely snail pace last year for the Giants, did not come around until post-All-Star break. I don't think you're going to have to wait around that long for Willy Adames to figure it out at the dish, but I'm very encouraged by what I've seen from him so far in these last couple weeks. I think that he's really starting to turn the corner. And today, Adames delivered that big hit for the Giants. That 1 base hit was all he got today as far as hits goes. He also did not walk in today's game. So a couple RBIs for Willy Adames. But as a whole, the Giants offense today, a lot better. Even though they only scored 3 runs, I liked the at-bats a lot better because you had a couple more walks than you had in yesterday's game and a lot less strikeouts. Only 4 strikeouts for the Giants today, not the 14 or whatever they had last night against the Rangers. So the Giants doing a very, very good job of just, continuing to battle at the dish. They did only score 3 runs off of 11 hits. So I would like to see the 2 for 7 with runners in scoring position get a little bit better. I don't want to see 8 runners left on base. But hey, when they only got 2 hits with runners in scoring position, but the Rangers only got 1. And they also left 7 on base, the Rangers did. So the Giants did a great job of stranding runners out there. And again, the bullpen gives up no runs. As I said, got a little sketchy there with Ryan Walker. Conversation for another day with him. But I do think you still kind of go with him in that 9th inning. Tyler Rogers rock steady again. He gives up a hit, but he got out of that inning otherwise unscathed. Didn't give up any runs. Again, Tyler Rogers is sitting pretty with a 0.63 ERA from the Submariner. I mean, I love seeing that. So Giants pitchers, continuing to deal a very, very, very good day from Robbie Ray. By the way, Ray, 97 pitches, 69 strikes. That's nice for 2 different reasons. 1, 69, nice. 2, Robbie Ray filling up the strike zone. That's always good to see. You love when you see Robbie Ray filling up the strike zone. That's what led to only 1 walk and 8 strikeouts today for Robbie Ray. So the Giants get back in the win column. And hey, check it out. I said earlier this year that it's really good to put yourself in a position to win a series. And the Giants have put themselves in a position to win yet another series. If they pick up the win tomorrow in the rubber match, they take yet another series win in this season. They only have 1 series loss, and it came at the hands of the Angels, who had to walk them off in order to, in the final game of the series, in order to take that one from the Giants. So you're sitting at 18-10. You're second place in the NL West right now, and 8 games over 500. That is a very, very good start to the season for this Giants team. Obviously, there's some things that they got to figure out. I think I saw earlier in the chat, my guy John saying, I'm not sure this team is good, but they are so fun. And nothing's worse than a boring baseball team, man. And the Giants have been so boring under the Farhan regime, and they finally have some life back into them. You know, everyone who's going to be playing every single day for the most part, you can actually go buy a jersey and be confident that guy's going to stay with the team for a little while. And it's just fun. Like, you know who the guys are, you know what to expect from them. And they've been delivering, man, like they really have this year so far. So the Giants, very, very, very fun day out at the yard. There was only one player on the Giants who did not come up with a hit, and it's the one guy that you would expect to come up with one based on how he started the season. Wilmer Flores, the only guy who did not come up with a base hit today for the Giants. Everyone else who batted got one today. So the Giants doing a good job just getting on base and making things happen. Let's hope they can pull out a win tomorrow and pull off a win from this series. So Giants, another win, 8 games over 500. It's about all the time that we got for you guys today. I'm bummed we couldn't get into the Brandon Crawford Day stuff. Hopefully Ben has more time on his show to get into that. But what a vibe that is out there. Brandon Crawford back in the Bay where he belongs. They had a very nice pregame ceremony, video tribute, all that kind of stuff. It looked great. Wish I could have been out there to see it in person, but it was fun to watch all the highlights of it here at home. So thanks for tuning in to the Locked On Giants postcast, guys. That's all the time we got for you guys today. Just want to shout out all of our everydayers in the chat. I see all of you, appreciate all of you. Would not be a show without all of you. And for those of you listening on the podcast version, appreciate you guys getting the show as well. However you're tuning in, we appreciate you a lot. That's all the time we got for you guys today on the Locked On Giants postcast. I'm your host, Eric Triple E Engel. We'll see you next time. Peace.